It's not a very flattering picture. Okay. Oh, what the fucking building up a sweat here. No, I don't want to do any of that. No. Bye. So hot up here. It's the fucking same thing. Forget it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Forget it. I need a fucking fan up here. I'm fucking dying. Can I get a little bit more noise on my microphone? All right, guys. Can you hear me? Hope you can ignore all the... Can you hear me? I hope so. Because this place sounds like a freaking vacuum cleaner. But that's okay. All right. All right, we're going. Boop. Hey guys, welcome back to Deacon Live. My name is Deacon. Give us a call here at the station at 407-448-8800 and text us live at any time. Located in the Queen City studio in downtown Charlotte, North Carolina. How's everyone doing? Everyone survived, I guess, the last time we talked to you. Hope everyone's doing well. And I want to apologize, but the AC is like kicking like double time here in the studio. So if you hear some background noise and stuff, it's been hot up here in the Charlotte location area. We've had, I know that some of my friends and stuff in Florida have been having rain after rain after rain, but up here it's gotten pretty hot. So the AC normally kicks off at a certain degree, but right now, I mean, the studio is it's running right behind me. So if you hear a little bit of some kind of sound that you don't recognize, so I apologize. It'll click on and off. So please bear with me. All right. So let's see. It's the summertime. And what happens with summertime? Everyone graduates from high school. Everyone graduates from everyone. Well, hold on. Let me backtrack. Everyone graduates from high school. Everyone goes to prom, and everyone does all their antics and stuff for the end of the year and whatnot. And don't forget, we're on YouTube Live. Make sure you follow the Prophet Radio channel on YouTube Live. You can see this every time it's aired. Why am I? Oh, there. I'm like, I didn't see anything recording, so now we're caught up. So the YouTube Live. Through the Prophet Radio website. So it's the end of the year, and you went to prom. Everyone graduated, and I was working with some of my friends. Do you work with your friends? Jesus. Start this whole fucking thing over. Delete. It's gonna be that kind of night. 2 hours of this shit. All right. All right. Here we go. You like my beard? Here we go. Of course. Of course. Oh my God! With the Deacon live
right now. Right.
Welcome back, guys. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. Give us a call here at the station at 407-448-8800. And don't forget to text us live at any time here at the Queen City studio located in downtown Charlotte, North Carolina at 407-448-8800. Make sure you do all the social networks and stuff. And we are live on YouTube Live. Make sure you follow the Prophet Radio channel on YouTube, and you can see us live at any given time. So it's the end of the year, and before we do anything, big stretch. Oh, big stretch. And it's the end of the year. It's getting hot out, and I say it's getting hot out. If you listen, and I don't want to you know what? The AC's running here. The AC's running here in the studio. No, now it's running for whatever reason. Thank you. But the AC's running, so if you hear a little disdain in the background, I apologize for it. We'll try to make sure that you get the most premium show that you guys signed up for, that you can subscribe for. And don't forget, we are on that 1K run to 1,000 downloads, 1,000 listeners. Actually, 1,000 downloads is what we're looking at. The listeners, you know what? I appreciate it, each and every one of you. Make sure you like us on the Facebook page at Deacon Live or Prophet Radio, and you can see all the cool stuff that's going on there. So it's it's getting hot out now, and everyone knows that, when you're a certain age, or if you have kids and whatnot, everyone's graduating high school, graduating, and everyone's getting their prom dates and doing all the prom stuff, and they're getting the superlatives and all the stuff that you do with the end of the year. Now, one thing that I did, I went to high school in Orlando. I had a school called Oak Ridge High School. Go Pioneers. And one of the things that we did was, I don't know if they do this anymore, but do they raise money? Ow, pitch. Do they raise money to write your name in the concrete anymore? Do they do that anymore at high schools? I mean, after so many years or so many stuff, is it do they change it to a virtual reality thing? Where you can, virtually sign up to be on some kind of web board or whatever for whatever high school and whatnot. But because I remember, I forget, it was like a $5 for a 12 by 12 square, and they had the concrete guy come out and he'd pour it and we'd let it sit. And then they had like the tape measure and stuff, and they would mark out 12-inch squares, and they'd, the whole senior class is out there, depending on, what period you were in, they would call you out there and they go, all right. And they give you these big, long 8-penny nails. Fancy word. Keep that in your pocket. 8-penny nails, and you would write your name or design something, and all the drama kids, or not the drama kids, the art kids would sculpt something crazy. They've been studying this for the last 4 or 5 months. And I know exactly when the concrete cures, and I'm going to sit here and scramble this around, and it's going to be like big butterfly. And then, the retards, oh God, sorry. The guys who don't know how to do that very often, putting their name in the concrete, they just literally go M-I-K-E. Mike. That took a lot out of me. What you don't know, when you take a nail in the concrete, you're removing something, so it's like pencil shavings. And what do you do with that? You kind of, the guy Mike, rubs it around, and he just rubs it right back into the damn concrete that he just scribed his name in. And 20 years down the road, you can't even tell. It says MKE. So everyone's like going, oh, MKE. But there are these paths and stuff that are on the high school grounds, and it's, forever in history and whatnot. Now here, let me explain this. My mom actually went to the high school this is how old my high school was. My mom actually graduated from the high school that I attended and graduated as well. And it's funny because there was a path, if you take a T, if you draw concrete, if you're going to pour concrete as a walkway, it's straight, it's all 90-degree angles. And then a new class comes in and they pour, a 45-degree angle between this and this, and that's all where the high school or the seniors write their names and stuff. So my mom's name was in the concrete. And funny part was her name was in the concrete when she was dating my dad. So it says, Miss Deacon and Mr. whatever his name was. No, I know my father's name. I don't want to give my father's name out, but okay, it's a Mr. Prophet Radio and Mrs. Prophet Radio. And their name, and I used to walk by it all the time. My mom said, hey, look over by the lunchroom area and across there. Your father's name and my name are in the concrete, and sure enough, it says her name, my name, or her name and my father's name in the concrete, and it says 1967, which is the year that I think 68, 69, I forget. I've got a picture of it somewhere. Late 60s, but my mom and dad's name were in the concrete. Now here's the horrible, depressing part of I went to high school there, and I graduated and went on to college and did all that stuff. You always go back to high school, you always go back and see, your old teachers and whatnot. And they were because the school was so old, of course, my mom graduated in 68 or 67, 68, 69, somewhere in there. I forget what she wrote. And then I graduated, of course, however many years. You see, I graduated in 90, I don't know what, but mid 90s. And then you go back, 5 years later, once you leave college and stuff, and they're redoing the school. They're redoing like all the concrete and all the walkway, and they ripped up my mom's name. They ripped up the whole entire 19s, 58 to 68. They ripped up the whole section, but it's like ripping down tombstones. It's like ripping down graves that have been there. These are people that graduated from the school. They should have pulled it up and made it like when they ripped the Berlin Wall down, and lift this big slab, because it's only 4 inches thick. And they lift this big slab up and put it in a historical place of the school, and and that's where you would see your name. But no, they smashed it up, dug it up. These people, they're probably thinking, oh, these people are dead, they're gone, or they don't even live in Orlando anymore. And they got rid of it. They sure enough. Yep, that was all gone. It was all ripped up. Went in there, nice, brand new white concrete, nice, and it's got a nice skim coat on it. And you get upset. I don't want to say you get upset. You're just like going, oh, man, that was my mom. That was my mom's memory. But I did take pictures of it. I've got it somewhere, and that would be a great note to self. That'd be a great gift for them at some time in their life. Or, I'll give it to them as a present or something. I don't know. I'll think of something. But then you went to prom, guys. How many people out there went to prom? Did you go to your prom? I didn't go to, I did go to my prom. Sorta, kinda, sorta went to my prom. But it's the end of the year, so all these things are happening. People are graduating, people are getting graduation parties, and people are getting, dressed up for prom. And I'm seeing all the pictures of everyone, on Facebook and whatnot. And I'm like going, oh, they grow up so fast. And I understand to a certain point. I don't have children, but I understand, I've watched these people. If you think about it, Facebook's been around since 2005, 2006. We've been on the Facebook page since 2009. So you're talking a good 11 years, maybe 10, 12, 13 years that you've seen. All of a sudden someone has a baby, and all of a sudden they're graduating from high school, and you literally go, holy shit, I'm really old. I'm really old. What have you done with yourself, Deacon? Oh, nothing. I just sat here behind a microphone and just talked about myself and my feelings and whatnot. And I'm up here in North Carolina now, and I drink a beer or two. My AC's cooling down the studio here, 800 square foot studio in the top of the whatever building in downtown Charlotte, North Carolina. So that's where I'm at. Where are you doing? Oh, my daughter graduated from high school, and and you're like, shit, do I feel any worse? No, I don't. Everyone's life is everyone's life. But you sit there and look at all the stuff that their people are posting and saying, oh, look how fast she's grown up, and they do all the pictures on Facebook. And so it's just kind of eye-opening. Just kind of like you sit back and look, and you're like going, wow, this is on and on and on, whether you're involved or not. But You're just, you know, I don't know. You just see all this. Everyone's graduating from prom or high school and stuff, and going to prom. Now, I did not. I mentioned that I did not go to prom. I did sort of go to prom. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I did at my prom. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. Stick around. I'll be right back. Hopefully the AC will turn off. You're the big one. Welcome back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. Give us a call at the station at 407-448-8800 or text us live at any time in the Queen City studio located in downtown Charlotte, North Carolina at 407-448-8800. Don't forget to follow us on the Facebook and all that stuff. And we are on the YouTube Live channel on the Prophet Radio channel on YouTube. So we were talking about everyone graduating from high school and going to prom and all the stuff. And my wife is actually down in Florida. Her middle niece is down in Florida. And she is graduating from high school. And one of the things that when I went to, well, when I was in high school, you know, you went to prom. And my mom said, "Oh, don't you want to go to prom?" And go to prom. So what she knew at the time, because when you're 18, I don't know how to explain this, but at the time I was 16, I was dating someone who was she was a lot older than I was. She was, I think, 7 years older than I was. So I was 16 and she was 22, 23, something like that. Anyways, no, 6 years. Oh God, I don't know. It's been so long ago. Not that long ago. Settle down, people. But at the time, the girl I was dating was a girl that lived down the street from me, and we kind of knew each other. She was young and graduated high school, and I was a kid. I'm making this sound really, really weird. I'm sorry, but yeah, I was 16, and we ended up being boyfriend girlfriend, and never forced anything. She let me take my own path and stuff, never actually pursued me. It was totally me. It was totally my thing. My parents did not agree with it. And so when I went to, my mom and dad never really asked me, "Are you going to prom?" Because they knew what the answer was. I would be like, if I was, I'd be taking her. "Oh, no, you can't take her. You have to take someone in your class." Well, so I said, I'm not going to prom. So I say when I went to prom, our prom at Oak Ridge High School was held at the Peabody just outside of downtown North Carolina. Listen to me. I'm almost a regular here in North Carolina. The Peabody is located just outside of Orlando, which is by International Drive, kind of close to the SeaWorld. What else out there? International Drive. That's all I can say. Peabody was a very, very nice hotel. They had the ducks that come in and go out and all that stuff. And it was one of the conference rooms, band rooms, or whatever you want to call it. So I show up and I wore jeans and a t-shirt, and we showed up. We sat in the lobby. Sometimes they have those big, in conference or convention halls, you've got all this long walkway, and it's got all the chairs, little, four top chairs or something, cushy chairs that if you just want to sit there and stuff. So we found the four top of chairs, big cushy chairs and stuff, that was closest to the door of the banquet hall that the prom was being held in, my prom. And she was wearing a tank top. At the time, it was the headbanger metal stuff. So she had cut off jeans and these boots and stuff, and a lot of skin showing. And I was, of course, a very young 18 years old. played almost semi-pro basketball. Look it up. So I was, in really, really tough. Anyways, so we were two beautiful people, I guess you would say, and sitting on the chairs as we watched these people come in like friggin' Ariel from Little Mermaid with all these little mermaid dresses on. Everyone, and I guess it was the big thing at the time. And so all these girls, and every time a girl walked by, the guy would go, "Hey man, what's going on? You going in?" I'm like, "Fuck no, you guys go in there." "Oh man, I gotta go in with Teresa, or I gotta go in with Samantha." And then, you see Teresa and Samantha, and they were all dressed in these, sequins, and they're sucking it in, and every single one of them for an hour straight, they said, "You guys look more comfortable than we do. We wish we could be out here with you, but we're going inside." And then, all right, cool. So they would go inside 15 minutes later, and they're like going, the parquet dance floor is like, as we're dancing on it, I guess it was like slipping apart. They would move and they'd have to stop and they'd push the dance floor back together. I guess they didn't lock it in right. I don't know who the DJ was, but nonetheless, so that was my prom. We sat out there in the lobby of the, not the lobby, but the convention hallway of the hall of where my prom was at. I sat there with my girlfriend, who was a lot older than I was, and we just sat there and made fun of everyone. I not made fun of them. I wanted to see who actually went, just to say, I saw you at prom. I saw you at prom. You were wearing jeans and a t-shirt, almost like James Dean type style. And I had this, hooker girlfriend on my arm, and you guys were walking in there with tuxes and stuff. I don't know if any of you guys, my old school listeners, remember that, but if you do, that'd be great. Just give me a call here at the station at any time at 407-448-8800 and tell me you remember about our prom when we graduated. So that's all I can remember. But someone who's going to remember are the people in New Jersey. Have you heard about the principal in New Jersey? The prom in New Jersey, literally on the ticket said "party like it's 1776," which is kind of a takeoff on, not New Jersey. Is it New Jersey? Yeah, I think so. They were going to go to the what was it, convention hall, Constitutional Hall. They actually rented out the Constitutional Hall where I guess the Declaration of Independence was signed and all that stuff. And on the ticket it said "party like it's quote unquote the Prince song, not 1999, but 1776." And a lot of people had problems with that. And I don't think the the principal understood. How old's a principal? Hold on. How old is the damn principal who doesn't understand? He's got to be young. He's got to be under a certain age. I'm going to find out. Hold on, I'm going to write this down. How old is the damn principal at the Cherry Hill High School East? New Jersey's Cherry Hill High School. Because if he's at a certain age, he probably wouldn't have. If he's older, let's say he's older than 43, older than 45, he wouldn't understand why that would be offensive. But the children, his students, his faculty, and all that stuff found it offensive when he said "party like it's 1776." Now, do you know why? Do you know why? Think about it. If you're going to throw a party and say, hold on. Let's have a party like it's 1776. Think about what was going on in 1776. Now, in his mind, let's say he's an older gentleman. I don't know. I don't have the facts yet. But if he's an older gentleman, it was the separation, the Declaration of Independence. We're in the Constitutional Hall. Hey, that sounds like fun. It's our freedom of independence and all that stuff. Well, guess what? Guess who didn't have freedom of independence, or didn't have? Well, they were kind of lumped into what we were doing. Sorry, but I'm saying slavery was still in existence. So that's, a lot of people took offense to it. And granted, they were out there dressed like they were slave masters or anything. The whole dress code was not anything like, we're wearing these doilies on our head and the cummerbund skirts and the big stuff. No, they just wanted everyone to have that vibe of a freedom of independence. 1776, we're separating from, a country that ruled us, and that's why we left, religion and all that stuff. So, but in the same sense, I don't know. I don't know. There's something that he was thinking. I'm trying to think of his version and trying to make his version work for what he was trying to do. But I can't grasp onto it. I can't grasp why, hey, it's 1776. Let's all have a good time. Well, then you can eliminate a lot of minorities, not necessarily slavery. For the most part, slavery. Sorry, I don't want to leave that out. But like the Chinese people, the potato famine, the Irish people coming over, they don't get it. Most of the people here in the United States at the time, and hey, what about this? How about the Native Americans? They would be more pissed off. I would think they would be more pissed off if you can find one. Up in the reservations up there in Iowa and all those frozen states where no one can move and there's nothing but dirt and talcum powder up there. So, it just wasn't very well thought out at all. So that's the New Jersey prom disaster. I don't know if it was a disaster, not like the one prom high school, whatever, that had the animals in cages and stuff. Jesus. Who is running these shows? Who's running the faculties? No wonder we got school shootings every right and left, and all the stuff that's going on with guns in schools and people shooting this and people shooting that. If they can't figure out or get their shit together or mentally figure out, hey, let's party like it's 1776. Let's not have a animal welcome to the jungle type prom and then subject these animals. Did you hear about that? The animals were in cages, big lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, they were in cages, and they were in cages 2 sizes too small for actually the animal to move. What are you doing out there? Public schools? Let's fix, you don't want to fix gun control. Let's fix a little bit of the public schools. Oh, no. We don't want to. There's not enough money yet. There's not enough revenue. We don't get a lot of back for the schools. We don't get enough, we put a lot of money into the schools. We don't get enough back out of it. It's a drain on our system, which it is. If you think about it, public schools are a drain on our system. They teach children to process information and go into the workforce right out of high school. They don't let them learn. They teach you how to take tests, and I'm sure you've heard that a million times. So that's my rant on public schools. We can do a whole nother Deacon Live episode on public schools and whatnot, but I like to keep it light. I just want you guys to think about a couple things as far as like your prom and your high school and what's going on between now and yesterday and the day before that. That's all I got for this right here. I hate saying that. I'm going to stop saying that because I'm looking at the time and I'm like, okay, I need to take a break. I know. Stop. I know. I got to take a break. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Proper Radio. And I want to give you a little teaser. More guns in school. We're going to do more guns in school. Maybe. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Proper Radio. Stick around. We'll be right back. Boop. set, go. Welcome back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. Give us a call here at the station at 407-448-8800. We were talking about prom, end of the year stuff, and how yours went, how mine went, and graduating class. And I want to say just one more thing. My graduating class in Orlando was almost 700 and some odd people. And I was telling some of the people that I know up here in North Carolina, and I said, they said, "Where's your wife?" And I said, "Well, she's down in Orlando, and they're doing the graduation for Lake Brantley. One of her nieces is graduating." And they said, "Oh, how's that? How long will that take and stuff?" I said, "Well, it'll probably take about 3 hours." And they go, "What, 3 hours?" And I go, "Yeah, 3 hours." There's over 700 kids in the graduating class, and they go, "What? 700?" I said, "Well, yeah, each school has about 28 to 2,900 kids in the school. So you figure, divide that by 4 and, minus 3% for, people who can't graduate. Yeah, it's 3." And they were all saying, in here in North Carolina, the Charlotte area, oh, my graduating class was, 300 and 200 and whatever. I'm like, well, I'd say it's the difference between, a large city. They say Orlando's not a large market as far as radio and stuff, but it's I think 35, and then Charlotte's like 25, like on the top, 50 state. But our schools are packed. We're bigly populated, and as you can tell from my accent and my dialogue, that I graduated from those bigly and populated schools in Orlando. But did you hear about that? Hey, did you hear the one about the guy who? But there was another school shooting, and I don't know what to say. Everyone wants to throw out gun control. There was another shooting in Texas. A kid basically said, he went in there and I guess some girl didn't want to go to prom with him or whatever the case may be. I mean, it's the end of the year, and he went in there and looked for and shot 10 people. He had a revolver, sawed-off shotgun and whatnot, and people's like, gun control. I understand. I do agree with gun control to a certain point. I mean, there's a reason. I'm trying to keep it light, but there's a reason why we don't have bazookas. There's a reason why we don't have rocket launchers. You know why? Because they are illegal. How are they illegal? The same way that a 13-year-old cannot buy a car and get a license. There are rules and stuff that are set in place. If a father wants to buy his son a car, that's great. He can buy his son a car, but he cannot drive it without passing certain tests. He cannot take it out until he gets a license and all that stuff. So I think something does need to happen. Honestly, I've got plenty of guns. I say plenty of guns, like I got an arsenal, but I do have weapons. I don't want to say I don't enjoy shooting them, but I do have them, and I understand in a controlled environment how that would be. You shoot them here, or I do shoot them. Not here, not in the studio. That would be wrong. But I do shoot them on a regular basis just to keep everything in check and whatnot. But I understand the desire. I mean, there's a reason why people fish. There's a reason why people go boating. There's a reason why people go jet skiing. There's a reason why people go hunting. Now, granted, the two in the middle don't kill anything, but there is a certain process in order to do these things, Does that make sense? But there was a school shooting, and the guy in Texas. I'm just gonna hold on. I'm gonna play you the clip. The gentleman in Texas. He's an official, and he blames. You want to hear what he says about the shooting in Texas? I mean, I'm just gonna play. Here we go.
Devalued life in this country. We throw God out of school. We have 50 million abortions. We have families that are broken apart, no fathers at home. We have incredible, heinous violence as a game, 2 hours a day in front of their eyes. And we stand here and we wonder why. But look, the video games issue we have got to address in this country.
No, he is wrong. He is wrong. You want to talk about video games? Then stop the paintball fights. Stop the search and destroy flag hunting games that are out in Minnesota that they're doing. He wants to stop video games. I think he's speaking off the tip of his tongue. He has no idea. He's an older gentleman. He is speaking that the blame. He's probably never been in front of a camera before, and he's always heard the gun violence. Gun violence is linked to video games and stuff. So that's what he said. I mean, he's literally whoever interviewed him or put him in front of the microphone, he's just regurgitating stuff that he heard in like 2001, 2002, 2001. Now, one thing I will tell you, and there is a person, I don't have the name here, so bear with me. There's a person, a gentleman running for, I believe, governor in the state of Florida, he's running for he's a governor running for one of the states here in the United States. And he literally said, I am against capital punishment. Now, I know we have a lot of listeners from overseas, and there is, capital punishment in some places, and then there's not capital punishments at all. But they also have stricter gun laws, and there's a trade-off with that. So you guys figure out the math. I don't have time to sit here and break out my abacus, and you guys figure it out. But what I want to tell you. What I want to say is, for the most part, when the United States was created, 1776, let's party like it's 1776, the death penalty was through all the states, all the, when they signed the Declaration of Independence and all that stuff, we had, smaller states. And of course, 13 went to 20 and 20 went to 25 and 25 went to 31. And then we traded some shiny beads to the people in Alaska and got some more land up there. And then we did the whole Arizona Purchase, which allowed us to take over like Texas and whatnot. Actually, Texas was an independent state for a long time, but they had so many criminals run into Texas that they couldn't afford to process everyone on their own. So literally, they asked for the United States help to keep the crime down in Texas. So that's how Texas came to be part of the United States. Not to get into history and stuff, but part of that. Now we have 50 states. And granted, Puerto Rico, I see in the next 1 or 2 years, mark my word, 1 or 2 years, because of the infrastructure that are having a problem with, is going to be the 51st state here in the United States, which is great. I welcome them by all means. But right now, as of today, timestamp today, there are 31 states that have the death penalty. Now, if you're a governor running for a gubernatorial race, which sounds like the chocolate covered peanuts, if you're a governor and you are saying that I do not believe in the death penalty, and I believe it's Florida, I'm going to double check my math here in a little bit. But if you're a governor running for, I do not believe, I'm not going to sign any more death warrants in my state, but yet the gun law is so relaxed. So I don't know how I feel about that. So what I'm saying is, if you're a governor of a state that has a death penalty or doesn't, let's say this, if you're in a state that does not have the death penalty, your gun laws should be more strict or more lenient. You see where I'm going with this? Because right now there are 19 states that don't have any. Their Congress, their independent state Congress, overturned the death penalty. And God damn it, you know what? Again, I'm saying Congress, I'm saying big words and stuff. I swear to God, I don't mean to say this, but I'm trying to make it as light and fluffy and popcorny in the areas that I possibly can. But if you're and I'm not naming names, I'm just speaking as far as one person's belief. You see how I did that? If you're a person, let's say your neighbor believes in gun control, all right, but doesn't believe in the death penalty, all right, so what's the trade-off there? So if I kill someone, let's say I kill, oh God, I don't even want to say that. Let's say I kill a family member of yours and I get prosecuted and I'm found guilty. You do not want me to be put to death in your state because your state doesn't have a death penalty? So where did it start? Stricter gun laws, death penalty. No death penalty, looser laws. I don't know. But right now, I mean, if you want to trade one with the other, and granted, you know, everyone says mental health, mental this, mental that. Oh, I'm driving myself crazy. I am driving myself crazy. I try to make this a light show. I do. But everyone, you see on your newsfeed, gun this, gun that, gun this, gun that, and I'm, watching the YouTube live channel right here on Proper Radio, and you see me scrolling, gun this, gun that. I want this, I want that. So when you have 31 states with a death penalty, and you have 19 states without a death penalty, I don't want to say that's a broken system. It's not. The system that's broken is the gun, the way you buy a gun. And I explained that earlier. And then, so, all right, I'm done. Come back. Hold on. I got big arms here for you. I'm going to bring you in nice and close. I love you too. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell at you. Are you okay? Are you good? Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get everyone upset. I really don't. So, do you guys like space? Do you like space? Have you ever watched like Star Wars? Have you ever watched like Star Wars and Star Trek and thought about other stuff like outside of our solar system? Well, guess what? NASA. All right, I'm gonna be serious here. So NASA has we broken out of our solar system, where that we got literally an intergalactic satellite that has just moved into the next and beyond. What's his name? Randy Trainer? No. Kirk Cameron? No. Shatner. That's his name. William Shatner. The Unknown Frontier. So we have moved into the Unknown Frontier, and it's a satellite that we launched way back in 1964, before PlayStation was made, before Netflix was made, before the shuttle or any of those things were made. We launched a satellite back in 1964, and it just cleared our solar system. It's moving on to another solar system. I'll give you more details in just one sec. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Proper Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, and we are on YouTube Live. Hi, YouTube Live on the Prophet Radio website. Make sure you go to the website at prophetradio.com, and you can see the link, and you can see me waving at you, and you can see me winking back at you as you wave back to me. Wave back. I can see you. I forget what the joke is there. So we were talking about the space. Are you geeky? Are you nerdy? Did you watch all the Star Wars stuff? Did you watch them? I watched, because I've got the Cody stick. I watched the one, and I think I talked about it, where the one where Princess, spoiler alert, Princess Leia got sucked out of the plane, or sucked out of the thing and went back into it. I don't know which one that was. But that's the last Star Trekkie Wars thing that I watch. Now, what I was talking about earlier was that NASA, before you, probably you and you were born in 1964, I believe. I'm gonna pull up the video and we can watch it or listen to it at the same time. But they launched a satellite that was actually called Voyager. I don't know if you guys remember that. I'm sure there was a couple movies out there that made fun of the gold. There's a gold record on it. It's kind of like what what's his name did, Elon Musk, when he shot his Tesla into space. He had the David Bowie song playing on the car. It probably froze and took a shit later. But let me explain something to you. The Voyager actually had a schematic, the old Da Vinci, the man body, with his arms spread out and legs spread out, and they had a Da Vinci picture of written in gold. I guess they figured that was the best metal for it to survive in space, but it was inscribed in gold on a plate, and it had man, it had woman. And I think it had a couple other images as far as friends. We are friends. We're good people and whatnot. And then there was a record that would play, I don't know, Kool and the Gang. I don't know. I don't know what it was playing, but it was playing something. And one of the things that the Voyager has now just passed our solar. I mean, literally reached the outskirts of our solar system. And the amazing thing that they are just amazed with was, imagine if you had if you bought a brand new car, I don't care what year, what design, whatever it is, and you drove it and parked it in the garage and let it sit for 37 years. Didn't do anything to it, filled it up with gas, filled it up with all the fluids and stuff, and then as soon as you drove it off the lot, you parked it right in the garage and didn't do anything with it. And then 37 years later, someone comes and finds the keys and goes, "Oh, you got a Voyager 1? Yeah, I got a Voyager 1. Well, let's see if does it run? I don't know." And you put the keys in, you turn the Voyager 1 car up, and it fires up and starts. Well, that's exactly what happened. They built this satellite, which looks like a half a walk, like a 10 walk, with this actually, it looks like something in the 1970s. It's got this big round disc with a long antenna off one side and two little antennas down with like legs and stuff. But they made sure with what they call like bump thrust that the antenna would always face back to the United States. Duh. Because we rule. sorry, you people there in Saskatchewan and stuff. I thought it was funny. So you guys are cool too, and the people in Canada and whatnot, and all the other countries that listen to us, we appreciate it. Thumbs up. All right. So, but the Voyager always flashes his antenna back to the planet Earth, and we are able now. It just fired its engines. And this is what they're actually fired it a couple days ago. So I'm gonna play this. This is actually what started happening, and they're freaking out about it. They love it. You ready? Here we go.
Voyager 1, NASA's farthest and fastest spacecraft, is the only human-made object in interstellar space, the environment between the stars. The spacecraft, which has been flying for 40 years, relies on small devices called thrusters to orient itself so it can communicate with Earth. These thrusters fire in tiny pulses, or puffs, lasting mere milliseconds, to subtly rotate the spacecraft so that its antenna points at our planet. Now, the Voyager team is able to use a set of 4 backup thrusters, dormant since 1980. With these thrusters that are still functional after 37 years without use, we will be able to extend the life of the Voyager 1 spacecraft by 2 to 3 years, said Suzanne Dodd, project manager for Voyager at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, Pasadena, California. Since 2014, engineers have noticed that the thrusters Voyager 1 has been using to orient the spacecraft, called attitude control thrusters, have been degrading. Over time, the thrusters require more puffs to give off the same amount of energy. At 13 billion miles from Earth, there's no mechanic shop nearby to get a tune-up.
All right, we got it. So obviously they've hired a robot to explain what's going on, but you can hear what they said. You know, the thrusters are deteriorating. They're breaking down. They've got like another 2 years left in them. From the video and stuff, but they're excited. I mean, it's the first interstellar thing that they've made. That many years ago. Oh God, let me get comfortable here. And they had no idea. I mean, think about it. What the technological scale of what everyone was doing. I mean, these are people that were sending like a rocket to moon. They were sending a rocket to the moon and then, bringing people back and whatnot. And we're not doing it anymore. Are we doing it anymore? They say the moon landing was a fake or a hoax or whatnot. But here we are. They're saying, they're probably fucking with us. They got a little timer on their little old school MS-DOS computer says, all right, guys, guess what? This is the news feed that we were sent to send out because it's MS-DOS. So that was probably 20 years after so 1987. All right, we got to fix this. And in another 15, 20 years, we got to send this notice out saying that the Voyager made it. Meanwhile, you don't know. It probably, blew apart as soon as it got out of our atmosphere, but they won't tell you that. They won't tell you that at all. They won't. So, but they're saying right now, Voyager just passed outside of our galaxy, and they're moving on to, what did it say? Oh man, Andromedon, it made up galaxy. We're the only galaxy that matters. So, but it's moving on to the next galaxy. So there you go. Good plus, right? Happy, positive note. And another thing that they're doing, NASA, SpaceX, NASA's, well, they're not launching shuttles anymore, but something that NASA's doing right now. Have you heard of Grace? Grace, they are actually measuring the water of the planet, and they're trying to prove if our gravity's going away. Are we losing? Do you feel lighter? Like when like one day you step on the scale and you're like 200 pounds, and like the next day, yeah. Well, hold on, let me backtrack. You ever gone to like the planetarium? And I know it's a South Park thing. Sorry, I had to do it. If you ever gone to like the planetarium, sorry, I did it again. I'm sorry. You ever been to the planet? You ever been in one of those fancy science places where they say, okay, here's what you would weigh on Mars, and here's what you weigh on the moon, and you stand on the moon and you're like, 30% less weight than what you are because of gravity. And that's how we measure how fucking fat we are in some places. But you stand on Mars and all of a sudden you're like 30% more. And you're like, oh, I'm never going to eat a pizza on Mars. I'm going back to the moon to eat pizza. But that's what they're doing. They're saying that the gravitational pull on planet Earth, that's us. Hey, listen up. I mean, lava flow over in the Hawaiian Islands, I mean, this is something we need to pay attention to, or do we? Or is it all made up? I'm just saying. But they sent out Grace. Grace is a device that is traveling around our solar, or not our solar system, not like Voyager, but it's traveling around our worth. Our worth. It's traveling around our Earth. Listen up, flatliners, around our Earth. Did you get that? Stick around. I'm going to show you this video, or let you listen to this video, as far as what's happening with our gravitational pull right here on our very own planet. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on planet Earth. Stick around. I'll be right back. I have to go feed the horses. Right. Doesn't matter. You go away. Around our Earth. Did you get that? Oh, yeah. Welcome back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate everyone that's watching us on the Facebook Live, on the Prophet Radio YouTube page. I guess that's what it's called. I get these notes and stuff. They're handing to me, and I'm like going, all right, what am I doing? What am I promoting? Anyways, so Flatliners, we are actually fat people. Let's do this. Fat people. Do you feel lighter? You haven't done anything, but yet you're still feeling lighter, like you've lost less weight and stuff. So NASA has gone out there and proved that the United States, you know, all the studies have shown that if we keep eating like double cheeseburgers and double baconators and whatever Arby's has got going and all your favorite restaurants and stuff, that we're all getting fatter as a nation. But the good news is, for all you fat fuckers out there, is that we are getting lighter as a planet. So everyone on the planet is getting lighter because I guess our gravitational pull on us is getting lower. So I wanted to play this video, and this is NASA, you know, the people that blew up a bunch of stuff and didn't get a lot of people back. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring you down. I didn't bring you down, but you know what? They're not doing anything anymore. They're not launching their own car into space, are they? NASA is not doing that. Are they? I'm just saying. But here we go. This is a project called Grace, and it looks like it's two little things. Like, I don't know how big they are. They're about the size. Let's say the size of a what car is not discontinued now? A Fusion, Ford Fusion. Oh, that's discontinued. Really? Okay. Let's what other car is not discontinued? Oh, let's pick a shitty car. Subaru, the Outback. How about that? Subaru Outback. It's the size of two Subaru Outbacks. And do you guys know what a trapezoid is? That's where the top and the bottom are the same parallel, and then there's two angles. All right, you guys go back to school. Go back to school and graduate and go back to your prom for all that stuff. But there are two about the size of a Subaru with that shape, and one is following the other, and they're probably about 3 football fields. Did you get the footballs? 3 football fields apart from each other, and they're literally traveling around, Flatliners, around the Earth, and they're reading the density of the water and the density of how much gravitational pull there is. And I'm going to play this video for you right now to prove that I'm not 40% insane. You ready? Here we go. All right, hold on a sec. I got to redo this, and I had to turn this on. We're going to back this up. Here we go. Try it again. 3, 2, 1. Let's have some fun.
Grace Follow-On is a mission to measure how water is distributed on the planet and how that changes from month to month.
GRACE stands for Gravity Recovery and Climate Experiment.
And it's a follow-on mission to this mission called Grace that we launched in 2002. And that mission just ended a few months ago. And Grace Follow-On is going to pick up and continue that science legacy.
So even though Grace flew for 15 years, climate is one of those things which takes place on decadal timescales. It's really important that we look at these trends over longer time periods so we can establish the forces which are driving them.
One follows the other, and between them, they accurately track the distance between the two satellites. And as they fly over changes in mass on the Earth, they move back and forth. And we track those little changes very accurately. And we do that with Global Positioning System satellite information and with star cameras that are on board the two spacecraft. I think there's an increasing awareness and consciousness around the Earth that water is a critical resource and that the sea level is rising, the polar caps are melting, and that all these have long-term ramifications on how we live.
The GRACE follow-on measurements give us very clear and tangible information so we can make sound decisions in the future of how we manage our resources.
So that's the GRACE project launched by NASA, and you can see the videos, all that stuff. I put it up on the on our page. Hold on. You know what? I'll do that right now. Boop. Copy. Normally, I have another person here helping me, but he is globetrotting across the United States. So I'm going to put this on here. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I know. I need some more information about stuff. All right. All right. I'm going to put, so when you see it on the Prophet Radio Facebook page, it's going to say, suck it, flatliners. How about that? There you go. Listen to Deacon live on radio. And all you guys that are listening or watching us on YouTube live. So there you go. Hold on. Should I put? No, I'll do that. Suck it, flatliners. That's pretty funny. And then let's put Deacon live on there. Let's put one of these photos. Photo. Put that on there. And once that loads up, and I'll hit publish. And that's it. That's all you have to do. So there's a program called the GRACE program that's floating around and flying around and making sure our borders and everything, our gravitational pulls are good. They're good, right? You know, the gravitational and the water and density. You know what? I'm not really making much sense. Oh, are we still recording? I guess so. Uh-oh, what happened? Something locked up. Please tell me I don't have to fix that.